and gentlemen, welcome to Field of 68's last call. Do you think that you could take down a black bear?
No, hell no.
I'm going to try.
The first person that's going to die has got to be one of the black guys. So.
Cold cuts, they suck.
Are Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce going to get married?
Hell no. Here we go. It's last call. It's March. March is here. It's March 1st. We made it on the Field of 68 Stadium. Last call. It's the first call of March, baby. McCall, are you ready?
Are you kidding me? It's the greatest month of the year. It's not even close. And my birthday's in December, Fanta. Come on. I mean, we got my birthday in December, Christmas in December. It's March. Every single day. We got conference tournaments coming. We got Jeff Goodman's hot seat coming up, okay? All the coaches that he predicted to get their jobs taken from him. Okay, we got that coming up. I can't wait to see who he's right about. Can we do like a segment on Goodman, who he's right about getting fired and who he's wrong about?
Yeah, we can.
Can we do that?
We could track that.
You know who I had out? About a year ago? Fred Hoiberg was like long gone, and now the dude, now tonight was a little rough for him, but the mayor has kind of gotten back on track in Nebraska, and that's one I was wrong on. But generally, I bat probably, I don't know, at least 500 on my list, about 500.
How many times have you had Brad Burnell on your hot seat list? Let me just ask
every year, every single year.
He
survives it.
Okay.
Yeah, he is a survivor. He's the ultimate. I might name it the Brunell from now on. I might just name it the Brunell.
What's Borzello batting in March? What's Borzello batting in March?
I mean, Borzello bats the same thing he bats if he get out there and try to hit any of us. Probably like $120.
So, my favorite. The opening segment's becoming March moments. My favorite part of March is sitting with Jeff at the Final Four and basically listening to at least one phone conversation during the day. One in particular that stands out. No names, please. No names, please. Where you were really questioning a hire last year on our platform. And,
I know what you're talking about.
And the agent called Jeff with his wife and daughter in the vehicle, and it just made and this guy, God bless his wife and daughter, but yeah, that's all that needs to be said. Yeah. But it is that time of year, and we're gonna see. I mean, here's the thing: like, out of
I
all
have
the things
feelings too, Fana. I have feelings too. I felt bad.
Right, you do have feelings. You do have feelings. I've seen them come out, and you know what? I know that you. This is a hard. What's that, Dagan? Well, yes, it is. Dagan, can people hear you saying that? Yeah, Craig Robinson, God love him. Rob Doster wanted Craig to have his own hour-long show in New Orleans. That's the other thing. The amount of times I look at Jeff and McCall when Rob comes up with an idea during this month.
No, if we had a reality show at the Final Four, yes, there are some great moments and some not so great moments, and there will be this year.
Let's start March strong, okay? Jeff, your favorite one or two things. I'm not going to go Final Four. I want like first weekend or second weekend, you were at a building and you watched something and you went, holy shoot.
I mean, probably my favorite day I've ever had was, I can't remember what year it was. I should be able to remember it, but it was 4 upsets in Tampa on the same day. Same day, Tampa St. Pete hosted 4 games. One of them was UConn losing to San Diego. Drake won, beat Western Kentucky on kind of a last-second shot. There were 4 straight. So I was writing back then for, I think, Fox, and I wrote the first game of the first session. I'm like, all right, now I can just kind of chill and watch the second game. Upset, had to write it again. I'm like, all right, I wrote the first 2. I'm good for the second session. The night session, I'm good. Upset again. All 4 games. I think it's the only time it's ever been done. All 4 games at one site were upsets. It was absolutely phenomenal. And that's what it's all about. And that's where, again, the Greg Sankeys of the world, don't F it up. Don't F this up. The Power 5 commissioners, don't screw this thing up and try to get it where you get more bids for your league and try to push out the automatic qualifiers out, because this tournament is built on the little guy beating the big boy in the first weekend of the tournament. Now, I get it. We don't want all those teams going to the Final Four. We want big boys going to the Final Four for the most part, but don't screw this thing up. It works. Like, it's the one thing the NCAA does right is the championship, the NCAA tournament. Don't let it be screwed up, please.
McCall, March is here. Your favorite March moment ever?
Winning the Southern Conference tournament as a head coach with the Chattanooga Mocs. There was nothing better. Outside of my kids being born, it was the greatest memory moment. And to Jeff's point, when you're a mid-major program, I mean, we had 26 wins going into the conference tournament, and we were not even on the bubble. And when you're a mid-major, low-major program, and you win that tournament, and you punch your ticket, the excitement that comes with it for your players, for your fans, for your staff, for everybody associated, there's nothing like it. And don't take that away. Like, don't mess that up, because it is. I'm just telling you, like that. And maybe I took it for granted the day that it happened, but there was no better feeling. And I sat on the bench for 2 national championships at Florida. I was an assistant coach for another in 2014. But punching your ticket as a mid-major program, man, it is Fanta. It's the best. Outside of my kids being born, it was the greatest day of my life. Not even close.
Let me tell you briefly about the night that I fell in love with college basketball. All right. Round of 32, 2005. March 19th, 2005. Wolstein Center. Wake Forest is meeting West Virginia at Cleveland State, downtown Cleveland. My grandpa calls me, says, we've got tickets. My grandpa got me to fall in love with sports. He made me fall in love with it. I got to sit inside the Wolstein Center for Chris Paul taking on Kevin Pittsnagel, Mike Gansey, and the West Virginia Mountaineers. And Gansey was the local. Pittsnagel was becoming a folk legend. Gansey was a local kid. West Virginia beat Wake in double overtime. I looked around me at a bunch of, frankly, intoxicated Clevelanders in the stands in double OT. Half the crowd was asleep. It was after midnight. And I thought, this is the greatest sporting event in the world. And everybody walking around the concourse before the game said Chris Paul and Wake are going to win. Chris Paul's the best player on the floor. And I watched West Virginia beat him in double overtime live. That to me was the night I fell in love with college basketball. The other night for me that made me pinch myself, I am sitting with Greg McDermott in a hotel bar after Creighton has lost to Kansas State in the NCAA tournament. I step away for a minute, about 10 minutes rather, to book a flight back to a new tournament location because Creighton lost. McDermott's at the bar. I walk back towards the bar. Greg's face kind of said it all, because we all looked up at the TV screen and UMBC was up 15 on a 1-seed Virginia. And I looked at my cameraman for the Big East Network, and I said, I don't know about you, but we're running back into that arena right now because this has never happened. And am I glad I did? I've never seen anything like that night in Charlotte when UMBC beat Virginia. That was an unreal night. Those kids will never forget that. Jim Nance called that game. That there are just times when we cover this sport where you pinch yourself. And that was one of those nights. And you hate it for Virginia that they experienced an all-time low, but for Ryan Odom and, freaking UMBC, Jeff, FDU, this is what
it's
some
all
of these
about.
powers, they want to eliminate these schools. Some of these schools, they need this to even have a bottom line.
I was at Arizona,
100%.
and 3 of the 4 years I was at Arizona, they lost in the first round. And again, it was demoralizing as a student at Arizona, but like Steve Nash, Santa Clara, East Tennessee State, Mr. Jennings, Miami of Ohio, like that's what it's all about. It's what it's all about.
FGCU, Northwestern State over Iowa. Jermaine Wallace hits a fadeaway 3 in your eye hole. Ron Hunter falling off his stool.
Yeah.
This March effing rules. This month effing rules is what I meant to say. It effing rules. We're going to take your chat questions after the break. Welcome back to Last Call. What are you eating?
Caitlin's crunch time, baby. I'm telling you.
Can we see your can we see your jumper after this? Can we see you shoot a couple jump shots after you eat this whole box?
Yeah,
of cereal?
no, you don't want to. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to know. Let's get your chat questions.
The only thing I'm doing now, McCall, is Hummel caught me. He's got a mole. We were both staying at the Graduate Hotel in Bloomington. All right. He was doing the Wisconsin game the other day. So I went in. I had a few minutes. I went in and, I lost the bet to Hummel. So I got to wear his Purdue jersey that I got over there to the pump party with no shirt underneath, no T-shirt, no nothing, no undershirt. So, and I'm fat. I'm fat now because I was in Charleston for 7 weeks. And then I've been traveling and eating like crap. So I went in the gym at the Graduate Hotel for like literally 2 minutes. I did 3 quick sets of curls, 3 quick sets, and got out of there. Hummel had a mole in there who saw me. There were 2 dudes in there. I don't know which one it was, but they told Hummel that I did 3 sets and got the hell out of there. Unbelievable.
Goodman, if we need to lose some weight, can we get on the treadmill? Like, what are you doing curls for? Like, what is that gonna do?
Because
like
people
curls.
are going to look at my arms.
I'm doing curls. Like, get on the treadmill.
No,
Yeah.
because
He's
you're
not
not going
walked
to
up
in
the
the jersey. In the jersey, it's going to show my arms. Not. Yeah, but my arms will be the worse for the wear. I gotta get out there and really. I got a month.
Just get on the treadmill. Just get on the treadmill.
I need that too.
Do you?
I'll
think
be your
that
accountability partner.
Do you think that Caitlin Clark knows who Robbie Hummel is?
No
Yes.
chance. Zero chance.
Yes.
Zero.
Robbie
No
Hummel
way.
covers every single game in the Big Ten. Every time
That's
you turn on
true.
the Big Ten game, he is on
Here's
the team.
why she
So
knows.
She definitely knows he is.
No, I'll tell you why. She knows
Yeah.
because she's dating Connor McCaffrey, and Hummel
Right.
did Iowa men's basketball games. That's the only reason she knows. That's it. And she probably was like, "Who is this clown? Who is this
Let's get
clown
to some
announcing this
questions.
game?"
All right, here we go. We have fans waiting for answers here. So clear out. Goodman, Jacob P says, please start March with this, Jeff. Can we get a coaching carousel update? Give us the names that you're looking at as the month of March has begun. Who and what you're zoning in on.
I mean, obviously, you're looking in the Big Ten, and I just wrote this for the Daily yesterday. I don't think Mike Woodson, anything's going to happen with Mike Woodson in Indiana. He went to the tournament 2 straight years, unless Quinn Buckner, former Indiana player who's on the board, which he's not going to, basically says it's time. Mike Woodson's going to get 1 more year. He's going to have to make some staff changes or add a general manager. Then you obviously look at Juwan Howard. I mean, I'm going to start with the 3 former NBA guys. Juwan Howard, it's been brutal there this year. Again, I think the way something happens this year is if he goes in and says, "I've had enough." And then Jerry Stackhouse at Vandy, I think, is gonzo. Buyout is doable. AD likes him, sign him to an extension, but I think above the AD, they're going to make the decision that it's time to move on from Jerry Stackhouse, who's done an abysmal job for 4.5 out of his 5 years at Vandy. West Coast Pac-12 is going to have the most movement. I would expect Mike Hopkins will be gone at Washington, although I think they're still winning tonight against UCLA. I think you could see Jared Haas finally a move made by Bernard Muir, the AD at Stanford, and I think he could be gone. And Bobby Hurley will try to get a soft landing at DePaul from Arizona State, even though they've got an AD change. So I think something could happen there as well, where maybe he can get to DePaul and get ahead of it. I'm trying to think who else out west.
Jeff,
go ahead.
do you think it's a foregone conclusion? I'm not saying hot seat at all necessarily. What's your thought process with Dana Altman?
I mean, we say it every year that he might retire, but I don't think Dana wants to go out this way. They've had 2 injury-ravaged seasons in a row, and they have NIL if they want it. If he calls Phil Knight, I'm assuming he can get some NIL if he needs it, right? So, I don't know. I hope Dana goes out the right way. He's not that old. I mean, he's really not. I think people overrate, like, he's not 70 years old. Leonard Hamilton is one that I think, either retires or is kind of forced into retirement. He's in his early 70s. I think it's time for him. Kenny Payne's gonzo. We know that. That's over.
What about Buzz Williams?
He's probably a year away, but here's the thing with Buzz. There's kind of an expiration date on Buzz at every place he's been. He left Marquette and they really didn't like him. He left Virginia Tech and they really didn't like him. And now he's at Texas A&M. And again, he got to the tournament last year, but they were picked second in the preseason this year. They're right on the bubble. And I think if I'm Buzz, and I know Buzz a little bit still, I've known him for 20 years, I think Buzz will try to get ahead of it if he can. I just don't know what he'll be able to get. You remember, he went Marquette to Virginia Tech, and everybody's like, what is he doing? Well, part of the deal was, again, the administration and Buzz had kind of grown apart. So it was time to move on. So I think that's something where it's probably a year away unless he can find a landing. Louisville, they got to hire somebody. And I don't know who the hell it's going to be right now at Louisville. Ohio State, they got to find somebody. Right. Is it going to be Sean Miller? Is it going to be Dusty May? Is it going to be Lamont Paris? It looks like Greg McDermott, they're closing in on an extension. They're not that far apart. I would expect him to stay in Omaha for a long time here, even though he and the athletic director aren't buddies right now. But I think they'll end up getting something done.
Do you think we have 25 seconds that Kyle Neptune will be safe?
Yes, I think he'll get 1 more year unless Jay Wright says it's time. And I don't see that happening after 2 years.
You think Eric Musselman will be the coach at Arkansas next year?
Yes, I don't know where else he'll be able to go. unless he takes a downward turn, which he's not going to take a worse job. I don't think he can get Louisville.
And there's your trip, the first of many around the coaching carousel. Next, we get to some of your fun questions, and we get McCall involved on Last Call. All right, here we go. Last call. Last calls of the night. Question comes in from Shaka. Is Fanta scared to come to Fiserv Forum for a game? No. Not in the least bit am I scared. No, I just haven't gotten to Milwaukee. It's not that it's hard to get to, but you have to drop everything and go. I enjoy going. First off, I think Fiserv Forum is one of the most underrated atmospheres in college hoops. Like, that's an NBA arena, and they get 18,000. It's nuts. They got UConn next week. I really am interested to see, and I hope Kolek's healthy, the UConn Marquette rematch in Milwaukee. You know.
It'll be awesome if he's healthy. It'll be awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
Right. One of the best games of the year. But let's, to me, if I'm Kolek, I honestly, I sit out this Creighton game. He probably won't. He's too tough, and, I think he'll give it a go if he can, but I just don't think it's a smart move at this time of the year. Like, to me, you better be 100% right now, because frankly, it doesn't matter. You're seeding right now up your Marquette, whether you're 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter. If you don't have a healthy Tyler Kolek, you got no shot.
McCall, Travis asks, if Kentucky wins out and wins the SEC tournament, what seed would they get? Our feeling, the 68 crew currently has them as a 4 seed.
I mean, if they win the SEC tournament, they win out. That's probably right. Maybe a 3. You got them as a 2, 3.
If they win out,
I mean, if they win the SEC, if they win out and and win the SEC tournament, I think they're a 3. I think they're a 3. I don't know if they can get to a 2. I just don't. I don't see it. I think.
Are you in?
My biggest thing with Kentucky, my biggest thing with Kentucky is their front court production. Trey Mitchell's been out. Onyeso didn't score the other game. Bradshaw's been okay.
MIA.
Big Z played 21. Big Z played 21 minutes, and what do you have? 4 points. So it's like, where is the production coming from in the front court? Like, where is it coming from? Guard play.
That's hard at this point in the year, right? At this point in the year, not to know, Matt, isn't that really, really hard?
That is really, really hard. Really hard. And we know what they're getting from Reed Shepherd, Dillingham, DJ Wagner. I mean, Reeves has been – he doesn't get talked about enough. He doesn't get
He's an All-American candidate. Yeah, he's an All-American candidate. No doubt.
Yes. All right, Kyle asks.
Who's the freshman of the year in the SEC? Really quick. Who's the freshman of the year in the SEC?
Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Agree.
Most consistent.
Same page.
Most consistent through the year. Kyle says, if Kentucky played Illinois, Goodman, what would the over-under be?
Right now, the way Illinois is guarding, it might be 220. I mean, seriously, neither one of those teams, like it really could be 200 plus because Illinois is not guarding anybody right now.
I'll say like 185, 180. It'll be high though. It's high.
Yes.
Like it's
yes. It'd be a fun game to watch.
McCall, I know how Goodman feels about this, so I kind of want to get your thoughts. And then we'll go to Jeff. Michael says, how would you change the AP poll?
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff. How would you change it if it's easy? Go ahead.
I'd get rid of all the local guys. I get rid of all the local guys that don't watch anything but their own beat, which is fine. I mean, that's hard. If I had a beat, I wouldn't be watching Mountain West basketball either. If I was a beat writer for Marquette, for example, I would get 10 people, maybe 20 that cover national and watch everything. And that's it, because you get some of these other dudes that we know, I mean, they have no idea what they're doing. They're not even really paying attention to what happens on a Sunday or even a Saturday. So it's easy. Just cut it down to 20 people, maybe 10, and get them who actually follow it.
I don't disagree with any of that. I'm with you. It's flawed. I mean, I just think you should poll 10 to 12 national people who watch every week and who can do it. It's not easy to do it, but you got to put the time in.
Right. I used to work with the AP. I used to see how that whole poll was done. And the problem is they only use people that work for newspapers that subscribe to the AP too. So it's antiquated, completely antiquated.
Eno asks, McCall, who's the most romantic member of the Field of 68 to cap the show?
Wow.
It's not Hansbrough.
Most romantic?
I'll say that it's not Tyler.
It's not Hansbrough. It's not Psycho T. I mean, it's got to be. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go myself. I'm romantic. Come on, my wife loves me.
You're picking yourself
last night.
Look at that.
Like, come on. Like, what am I talking? Who do you want me to pick? I gotta pick myself. I'm happily married. Like, I'm romantic.
Goodman.
I mean, I wouldn't pick me, that's for sure. And I'd be way ahead of Doster. Okay. Doster's probably at the bottom, right above Hansbrough or with Hansbrough. I don't know if there is anybody. I don't know.
I'm going to go with Randolph Childress and Terrence Oglesby. I have faith in them. Thanks for watching Last Call. It's Mark.